Are you one of the best places to work in sports? You have about 10 days to nominate your company. We've had hundreds of nominations, and we would love to get your submission. Don't miss a chance to shine a light on your organization. You can let me know if you have any questions or go to our website to nominate your company as one of the best places to work in sports. And this is your morning Buzzcast for Monday, April 14th. Good morning. I'm Abe Madcore. I had a couple of great days at the Masters. The weather was perfect. The networking was fantastic. Saw so many executives in the sports business. And then over the weekend, everyone was talking about and watching the Masters, especially on Sunday, as Rory McIlroy hung on to outlast Justin Rose on that first hole of a sudden death playoff when it looked like he might fritter away another great opportunity. But it was a very emotional win, and CBS Sports certainly played it up as the 35-year-old McIlroy becomes just the sixth men's golfer to capture a career Grand Slam, the Masters, the Open Championship, the U.S. Open, and the PGA Championship. He joins Gene Sarazen, Ben Hogan, Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, and Tiger Woods in accomplishing this feat. You know, there were a lot of other items in the golf world. The New York Times reported over the weekend something that we've talked a lot about on the Buzzcast, and that's negotiations between the PGA Tour and Saudi Arabia's public investment fund have essentially come to a standstill, and the two sides appear at their greatest difference since June of 2023 when the deal was announced. Now, they maintain a deal is not off the table, but each believes they have the upper hand in negotiations. Live Golf could go after more PGA Tour players. The PGA Tour believes they're on a good run here, and they don't need the investment from the PIF. And so there's a lot at play here. Meanwhile, former Live Golf Commissioner Greg Norman took part in an interview in the New York Times over the weekend and had a couple of very insightful comments. First, he said the word that's been used, merger, is wrong. He says he's not sure what the exact word is, but it was never going to be a merger between Live Golf and the PGA Tour. Live Golf was always going to remain a stand-alone entity. That's what he said. Yasser Al-Ramian has had his position about Live Golf from the beginning as a stand-alone brand living long into the future. Meanwhile, Al-Ramian was spotted chatting with Augusta members at the clubhouse on the grounds of Augusta National on Friday. So a lot of interesting news around the world of golf. You know, I've always said you had to be pretty inept not to make significant money if you own an NFL team. It's that easy. Here's the best example I can share. SBJ's Ben Fisher reported that total NFL revenue was more than $23 billion in the last fiscal year. And each NFL team will get a check or a distribution from the league for more than $415 million. That's a disbursement from national media, sponsorship, and licensing. It's up almost 9% from last year's $382 million. So yes, if you're an NFL owner, you get more than $415 million from the league office before you kick off the season, before you sell one ticket, one local sponsorship, or any game day revenue. Not bad, huh? Especially when you know your salary cap is around $280 million. So that's your player costs, and you're already getting north of $400 million right from the league office. And this revenue could continue to grow. An 18-game regular season, new media rights deals, or other investments the league makes will see revenue continue to grow around the league. Remember, Roger Goodell had a goal of $25 billion by 2027. He first said that in 2010. Yes, he made that bold prediction that he wanted the NFL to hit $25 billion by 2027. He said that 15 years ago when league revenue was just north of $10 billion. And he's led the league on an amazing growth trajectory. No other U.S. sports league close to $23 billion in total revenue. And so the NFL just continues to grow. You know, I love what the Professional Women's Hockey League did by taking their second-year league on the road to other markets. It's really paid off. This takeover tour, which they talked about, it averaged more than 13,000 fans per game during its 9 stops. They went to Seattle, Vancouver, Denver, Quebec City, Edmonton, Buffalo, Raleigh, Detroit, St. Louis. These are new markets. And remember, the league is looking at these markets as it considers adding as many as 2 expansion teams as soon as the 25-26 season. A decision on expansion is expected to be announced in the next few weeks, and the league estimated that 80% of the attendees for this takeover tour, it was their first PWHL game. So that's brilliant. You get people, new fans, trying the product for the first time and hopefully hook them on the league. We had some numbers like 19,000 in Vancouver, 18,000 in Quebec, 17,500 in Edmonton. In Detroit, you had 14,000 in Denver as well. The lowest number was 8,500 in St. Louis, but all in all, great success for the PWHL's takeover tour. Staying with women's sports, the WNBA draft is tonight, and projected number 1 draft pick Paige Beckers is signing a 3-year deal with Unrivaled. That is the 3-on-3 league. That's according to ESPN. Now, what's interesting is Paige Beckers' first-year salary for Unrivaled season will be more than what she will make in 4 years of her WNBA rookie contract. If she is the top pick in the draft, she will earn north of $78,000 in her first year. That's according to the WNBA's collective bargaining agreement. She would make more with Unrivaled. ESPN also reports that Unrivaled, it exceeded $27 million in total revenue during its inaugural season. That's more than double what it projected to investors. And that's a new figure that I have not seen. So that shows real revenue around Unrivaled. Now with Paige Beckers in the fold, the league will make a huge push to get Caitlin Clark and Asia Wilson, but signing Beckers is a very big move for Unrivaled, which of course was founded in 2023, and they will be entering the second year of the league and looking to add more top talent. At last year's Sports Business Awards, Ally Financial won Sponsor of the Year, and it was for their smart activation and execution, but also having a real point of view of what the brand wants to support and its viewpoint of sponsorship. And we know they are heavily invested in women's sports. Now Ally is partnering with the WNBA in a multi-year deal. They'll become one of the Changemakers Collective. That is the largest level of sponsorship in the WNBA. They will be all over All-Star Weekend in Indianapolis. The logo will be on the court and the player jerseys. Ally will also provide financial literacy for players, and they did sign a deal with Paige Beckers as well. She will join Ally's roster of athletes that include Breanna Stewart and others. So this is a big deal for Ally. It's a big deal for the WNBA as Ally continues major investments in women's sports. Let's end the Buzzcast on a few quick hitters. Here is a marketing lesson to never consider doing in the future. Late last week, the San Francisco Giants' AAA affiliate, the Sacramento Rivercats, really seen as a very strong organization, unveiled a new identity that looked to honor the Sacramento region's history of discovering gold. So what name did they come up with? How about the Sacramento Gold Diggers? Yes, that name was going to be part of the team's jerseys, and it was going to be in their branding. Let's just say This idea did not last long. Just a day after it was announced, over the weekend on Saturday, the River Cats said they would not go forward using its Gold Diggers identity. The backlash to the name, the jersey, the hats was very quick, very swift, quite fierce. From city council members to fans to even state political leaders, the River Cats admitted the marketing campaign missed the mark, and their approach was certainly wrong. One image had a River Cats female fan with dollar signs in her eyes. And so the Gold Diggers wasn't a smart move to begin with. It's hard to believe there wasn't a voice in that room pushing back on this idea, but a marketing lesson to consider not doing ever in the future. And we'll end with this in major news for MLS. Inter Miami close to a deal with Lionel Messi on a contract extension that would see him stay in Miami. He would be around as Inter Miami looks to open a new facility that is in Miami's Freedom Park. This would be a huge boost to both Inter Miami and Major League Soccer if Messi stays on, and so more details to come, but early indications are that Messi is close to a deal to stay in MLS. And so that is your morning Buzzcast for Monday, April 14th. I'm Abe Madcore. Thanks for listening. Stay healthy, be good to each other. I'll speak to you tomorrow.